It's been going good. From day one to now. I feel like I learned a lot, grew a lot as a player. Learned a lot just as far as like plays and things that I did know, honed in on a lot. Just ready for the season.
What's the biggest difference between you this year and last year?
Last year I didn't know what was going on. Last year I had to really get my feet wet, and when I did get my feet wet for the first time, I was still kind of nervous. I didn't have the experience, but now it's like, I know what I'm doing. I know what to expect. I'm just ready for the season to get here.
When were you nervous? What was like the most nervous moment for you?
Mississippi State, like, I ain't gonna lie, I made some mental errors in that game, and that was cowbells really got to me, and it was probably the loudest atmosphere I've ever been in up to that point. So that was probably the most scariest point for me.
You had your best two games though, right after that. What changed, I guess?
What changed after that was just like the older guys really, surrounded me. It was just like, Dylan, you got to step up. We need you. And Minka, Sean, Dion, Rashawn, all of those guys, they really came into the picture and just like helped me. And even with extra film time, they helped me with that, just like so I can be ready mentally.
How much did that trial by fire really prepare you kind of for this situation now, potentially starting that kind of thing?
Can I say that again?
How much did that trial by fire kind of getting thrown into that mix early in your career prepare you for this situation you got now?
Oh, it helped me a lot. Being thrown in it, back then, like I said, I didn't know what to expect, but just being thrown in it back then, it like helped me for what to expect now for future games and being able to play in big time games, be a big time player. Just coming in and doing what I got to do and handling my responsibilities and doing what Coach Saban asked me.
How have you handled this rise from being an 8th grade phenom to now being at Alabama with a chance to start? How have you handled all the expectations, everything, everybody talking to you about what you should be or what they expect of you?
It's really being focused on the main goal. You can't let everything on the outside, affect what's going on, in your head or just like what you ultimately want at the end of the day. Because, you could easily get lost in the hype and get lost in all the things people are pumping you up to be. But if you know who you truly are, you know what your ultimate goal is and what you want to be in life, feel like you focus on that. That's all that matters.
We hear from a lot of younger guys, especially on defense, it seems like, who kind of struggle with learning the plays and making that adjustment the first year or two. There are times when you walk out of a meeting and you look at a guy who's kind of in the same boat as you and you're like, did you get any of that? 'Cause I didn't.
Oh, yeah, of course. Like the younger guys now, when it's linebackers, DBs, or defensive line, I tell them, just be calm, be patient. You're going to learn it. It was a time last year whenever I was coming up, it felt like I wasn't going to ever learn the plays. It was so much to learn in a short period of time. I was just overwhelming myself, stressing myself out. And just seeing those younger guys today, like going through it, it's funny to me, but at the same time, I'm there for them because, like, I'm a sophomore now, but it's like I know the defense like the back of my hand. Of course, I have some more stuff to learn, but at the same time, just got to keep pushing.
When do you get to that point where you feel like you know it like the back of your hand? I mean, sometime this summer or this preseason?
I got to that point where I fully felt like I learned it like the back of my hand in the spring. But where I felt confident and I knew most of the plays was, I'm going to say Auburn. It was around Auburn.
What happens when you're out there on the field when you get confused or, what's that moment like?
I can honestly say, like, when I'm on the field in the game, like, I really don't think about anything. Like, I really just play. And even the coaching staff would probably tell you, like, I rarely make mistakes when I'm out there on the field in a game time situation. But when it's practice, I make a lot of mistakes. It's like I'm focused, but I'm not focused at the same time. But, it's like I make more mistakes in practice. But, I mean, you're gonna make mistakes in practice. But when it's game time situation, I'm just really, really, really locked in. So,
Do you go to somebody, let's say you make a mistake in practice, do you go to the coach and say, did I do that right? Or do they come to you and say, Dylan, you did that wrong?
When I'm in practice and I make a mistake, it's like the coaches try and get on me and stuff, but it's like I get on myself more than the coaches do. I'll curse myself out, get angry at myself, get down. Like, sometimes I'll let one play affect the next, but then I'll get myself out of that and then, try and focus again. But most of the time, the coaches don't even have to tell me anything because I'm so on myself already.
Dylan, how did the defense and the linebackers look Saturday?
I feel like we have a lot of improvement to do. I feel like we did all right as a whole. It's a lot more improvement to be made. We still got to focus, communicate more, and you know, just do what we have to do because you know we're the quarterbacks of the defense. You know, the defense needs us, the team needs us. So as long as we're doing that, you know, I feel like we're gonna be all right.
Where's Ali Cahoe in terms of learning stuff, and what are you guys doing to kind of help him out with that?
I feel like he's coming along. You know, he's a new guy. He just got here like last week. Like I said, he has a lot to learn, and just like him and every other freshman, he's going to be stressed out because like he's being thrown in the fire right now. He has to learn so much in so little time, and I've been trying to help him out as far as learning the plays and whatnot. So, you know.
How are you and Mike working together right now?
And me and Mac, you know, it's like I said, I tell everybody, me and him is like a 1-2 punch. You know, I feel like, you know, we play off of each other's skill. You know, I feel like he's a great partner to have on the side, you know, because if I do tend to slip up, you know, he'll pick up the slack, or if he tends to slip up, I'll pick up his slack, you know. And it's like our chemistry is there already, you know. It's like we don't have to develop it; it's already there.
I think it's been somewhat critical of that second tier, third tier grouping. He's praising the first team, but saying there seems to be some difference in that second group. What are you doing as a potential starter to try to help those younger guys along, knowing that you've been in that shoes?
It's really just motivating them. You know, you can't beat them up if they make a mistake. You can't put them down if they make a mental error. You know, you got to pick them up. You know, even with the younger guys, you know, I tell them it's all right, or sometimes I don't tell them anything because at the end of the day, like the more you mess something up, you know, it's gonna help you get it right eventually. And that's how it helped me. I messed stuff up so much last year to the point where, you know, when it was one time I was just like, man, like I know what this is. I'd have messed it up 1,000 times. Like, let me go ahead and get this right finally. So, you know, they're going to get to that point. It's just, you know, they have to have that experience.
You know, the Associated Press poll came out today, and like most of the others, has Alabama #1. Would you rather be #1 or some other number in preseason polls?
Wait, repeat that question again? I'm sorry.
Alabama's #1 in most of the preseason polls.
Yeah.
Would you rather be #1 in the preseason poll or some other number?
I mean, you work to be #1, right? You know, you work to stay #1, but at the same time, you know, that's not really our ultimate goal right now. You know, we're not really focused on the media. We just focus on what we have to do right now as far as like getting back to the point we were last year and finishing stronger. You know, that's the main goal.
All right, thank you.